trailhead, and I wonder if Ryan ever got his package. Good morning. It's like 6:05 and I am currently at the base of Mount Moosilauke. I am going to be climbing almost to the top, but not all the way. I'm actually going to climb all around Mount Moosilauke, but never actually summit, at least not today. So I'm starting out right now on the Townline trail, which is just a 1 mile trail, so part of the AT so that people didn't have to walk along the road. And then I'll be hitting the Glencliff trail. So, but there's a bunch of shelters down here at the base of the mountain. So I'm going to be doing a lot of detours first thing in the morning, which is going to be interesting, especially because I imagine there are probably people at the shelter. So I'll just be like coming out of the woods, staring at the shelter for a second, and then turning around and going back into the woods. So they're probably going to think I'm crazy, but that's all right. Let's get started. Here's the trailhead. I was a little nervous about this crossing because in the book it says that at high water this is really dangerous and you need to take the street. And it rained last night, but we're also in the middle of a drought. So this is basically, there's nothing here. Easy crossing. Not much to say about a 1 mile trail. Pretty steady climb, but not difficult. We're getting close to our first shelter. There's going to be a bridge first and then the shelter. Well, here's the bridge. Not exactly what I was picturing. In fact, this is unlike any bridge I've seen thus far in all my hiking. But it's cool, I like it. And then there's a trail off, about, it says 90 feet ahead, to the shelter. I thought the shelter would be next, but here's a spur path to some cascades. Well, that's the end of the trail. Now I'm taking this road to another road to the next trailhead. I skipped the shelter because people were still sleeping. The last thing we want is some day hiker who slept in her bed last night traipsing through your campsite at 6:30 in the morning. So I'll hit it on my way back. Oh, there she is, Mount Moosilauke in the clouds. Back on trail. Here we are. We're taking Glencliff to Carriage Road, to Hurricane Trail, back to here. So I'm going this way, and then apparently just after this turnoff, actually I think right there, that pink stripe is a trail, is an unmarked trail to some clubhouse or something. It just said you need a reservation, so that must be it. I don't know if it's a shelter or what it is, but we'll take the trail, take a look at it, because it's listed in the guide, and then come back. Great Bear Cabin. Alright. So far the trail is pretty easy. It's overcast, quiet. I was thinking now would be a great time to listen to a podcast, except I forgot my headphones, so I'm just gonna have to be alone with my own thoughts as I hike this trail this morning. I am totally in my head about this hike today. I think it's the weather, because it's overcast and it's not raining, it just looks terrible. And so far, most of my hikes have been in just gorgeous weather. And so I think the grayness is getting to me, and I keep thinking, like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. But I was so excited to do this yesterday, so I don't know what's going on. It's nice when I have headphones to sort of pull me out of my mind a little bit and distract me. But because I don't have them, I'm sort of getting caught up in it, and it's not helping. So I stopped to sort of clear my head and get some positive thoughts, and I got lapped by a backpacker who just practically ran past me, so that was funny. This is the first trail I've done in a little while with this much elevation, and I'm feeling it. Oh boy. Doesn't help too. But I keep getting passed by backpackers going at 3 times my speed while I'm standing off to the side, bent over, double, gasping for breath. A little disheartening, embarrassing, but that's my life right now. I do this because I like it, not because I care what I look like. On the trail is the stream, and the stream is the trail. All right, water crossing. Look at this cool boulder with a tree growing on it. It's like it's grasped the rock with its roots, like an octopus. So cool. And it's getting a little chilly and breezy. Time to put the fleece back on. The combination of the clouds and the fact that I'm on the western side of the mountain, it is actually shockingly dark for this hour. This is more like when I'm hiking in at dawn, not in the middle of the day. I have about 3/4 of a mile of this trail left. There's apparently a very steep, rocky half mile, right the last half mile, so I have that to look forward to. But then when I get to the top, I'm planning to take a break and have a snack, which is a good thing because I'm getting hungry. Definitely looking a little steep and rocky. I love seeing these mossy areas. Look at the moss on the rocks going up. I always expect fairy tale creatures to appear when I'm in sections like this. Everyone coming down is saying that it's pretty terrible at the top. Overcast, cold, windy. And I'm not going to the top, but just based on this view right now, I can just imagine what it's like at the summit. When I first pulled out my camera, I couldn't see anything. And then the wind blew all the clouds away. For a second, I saw, I had a view. But then by the time I hit record, more clouds had blown in, and I can't see anything again. Alright, it's starting to level off. Looks like we're getting near where our trails meet. Oh wait, I see something orange through the trees. Is that a trail sign? Yep, we made it. That last steep, rocky section was definitely steep and rocky. Hooray! Look at all these trails merging. That's the spur to the South Peak, which I'm not going to do today. That was planned. I'm saving that for another day. Instead, I'm going to take Carriage Road down, not up. And when I reached the top here, I wanted to take a break, but it is very windy and cold up here. When I pulled my phone out, it's very cold in my hands. So while I feel comfortable, I just did some really strenuous hiking. And I think as soon as I sit down and relax, my body temperature will start to drop. So I don't know about resting here. I might want to go down a little bit further, where it's a little bit warmer and more sheltered from the trees before I take my break. Interesting little boulder squeeze through there. Head down. Much easier trail so far than that last half mile coming up. Pretty wide, well trod. Probably because of its name, Carriage Road. It's pretty wide. As the guidebook says, one of the best parts of this trail is some of the views. Look at that. Stunning. I don't do this for the view though, so I do think this is actually very cool. I love being in the clouds, high above it all, like a giant. I see something. It's like, quick, get my camera out before clouds roll in and I lose all visibility again. Oh, I wasn't quick enough that time. I was gonna say, look, a view I didn't expect to see. But some clouds just rolled in. Hello, is that sunshine I see shining on those mountains? Send a little bit my way, because it is chilly up here. Just a little tree tunnel on the trail. Under we go. Ooh. I'm just short enough that I could pass under that without ducking. A little fern gully here. Well, the trail's looking decidedly more trail-like now. It's still overcast, but it's definitely brighter. I'm not in the dark like I was when I was on the other side of the mountain. A corrugated metal bridge. Another kind of bridge I've never seen before on a trail. Very pretty though, look at that. Other side. Okay, so here's where Carriage Road and Hurricane Trail split off. So Hurricane Trail and Carriage Road actually run together for a little bit. So this last bit they just finished was Hurricane and Carriage together. My original plan was to go all the way to the end of Carriage and then come back and take Hurricane back to my car. Overall, the entire route would have been 14 miles. Now, I did some big mileage last week, 20, 15, so I was like, oh yeah, 14, no problem. But all of those were very, even though they were long, they had almost no elevation. So I thought I could still do it. And now I'm thinking that I don't want to do the additional 2.5 miles to the end of Carriage Road and back again. I could do it, like I could physically do it. It's not like I'm completely beat or anything, but I have things I want to do tonight, and if I do push myself too hard, then I'll be completely useless. So I think I'm going to cut off that part of my original plan and just take Hurricane from here straight to straight back to Glencliff and then to the car, and I can come back and do Carriage, the beginning of Carriage Trail, another day, because I am going to be back here many times for smaller hikes, so I can just tack on an additional 2.5 miles to some of the really short ones and it'd be no problem. Well, the guidebook mentioned that this was a seldom used trail, and it is starting to look like it. The guidebook also said that at 1.5 miles, I will reach a small, moist clearing. What the hell does that mean? A moist clearing? Apparently it's an old logging camp, but what a way to describe it. Is it like marshy? Is it swampy? What the hell does a moist clearing mean? I guess we'll find out. There's a million little birds flying around in these trees. I think they're chickadees. They've all sort of stopped now that I've gotten here, but before I just kept seeing them zooming across the trail. Oh, there goes some. Bolder ones. Is this our moist clearing? I thought I'd be on a logging road before I came to the clearing. But I guess this is what I would describe as a moist clearing. Just damp enough to grow ferns, but no standing water. Guess we'll find out. If I don't pass any more clearings, they won't know this is it. Well, this trail is lovely. Talk about a hidden gem. I've only just begun it. Apparently there's going to be like a ridge line and some really awesome parts up ahead. Already I'm a fan though. Well, I'm at the top of the ridge. So it's all going to be downhill from here. But apparently there's a view. Or a lookout. Wonder where it is. Oh, it must be that way. Here we are, just a little bitty lookout. I think I'm at the top of Hurricane Mountain, actually. I do summit at some point on this trail. Well, I was loving this trail until that very last little bit there, because it's very steep, which is not really a problem, but it also was covered in wet, half-rotted leaves, which made it very slippery. This whole trail has been mossy. I mean, not just this trail, this whole day has been, everything's been wet, slippery, mossy, but everywhere else it hasn't been a problem, but right there, it was a little treacherous. Well, here I am. I have come full circle. I went up that way and just came back this way. And now, just have to go back through the fields of milkweed, travel down the road, turn onto the other road, and then through the woods. I have to remember to stop at the campsite since I didn't do that before, and then to the car. I forgot to mention I did see some sun. It is now partly cloudy, so every once in a while the sun peeks out. You get a nice little show. Coming into this field is pretty bright, so I'm going to put on my sunglasses. When you come out of the trail, there's just this big field and had this marker, so I came over here to read what it said, and I realized that this is just a very sparsely populated cemetery. I don't see any graves older than 1996. If I was here this morning, this was all full of tents. Look at this guy. I was having trouble focusing on him because the tree's behind. It's the windmills! Well, now I know where they are. Well, once again, I forgot to record an outro. But honestly, by the time I'm editing this, it's been like 3 weeks, so I don't even have anything else to add to this. So yeah, other than to say, that's the end of my video clips.